deserved it so much.
He seems like a sweetheart.
He's a top guy, really, really nice young kid. And I think what it is as well, for any young fans watching now, the story of him is fantastic. He's come through all the leagues to get to the Premier League and then to represent England. The journey of footballers is not easy. There's so many players that get rejected at different clubs, 6 or 7 clubs, and they're still going. And Eze is another one who actually was rejected by 4 or 5 clubs, and now he's playing for his national team. So it's just for the young players to give them hope and confidence that you can do it. No matter how many times you get rejected, keep working at it, and Ollie truly deserves that. He had an amazing season.
Brilliant moment for him. Charlie, how did you see improvement in England in this semi-final match? Because we've been pretty tough on them throughout the competition.
I knew it was going to be a different game as soon as Phil Foden. It felt like something. There was a flip of a switch and something woke up within him because he started getting the ball and you could tell he was in the game. The chances he was creating early on, and I knew...
This was his best performance by far.
Not even close to any other of the performances. But you just saw his movement, his determination, his willingness to get on the ball and create, and he was a problem. England had more space in this game because of the way that they played. They were taking players one-on-one. They were moving off the ball.
So close.
It wasn't so stagnant. You know, the only player that I was disappointed with throughout this whole tournament, I mean, there are a number, but really disappointed was Harry Kane. And so,
Harry Kane doesn't look his normal self.
No,
he doesn't
and
look
Southgate
fit.
took him off. And I also thought, wow, well, he's taking off Harry Kane in a game like this.
He had
and
to.
It showed.
No, he had to take him
He
off.
was very poor, Harry Kane, for what he's able to give.
This goes to the conversation when I say about the reason of the word consistency. Harry Kane's playing because of the consistency he's shown for being a goal scorer, scoring 30-plus goals a season for how many seasons. Consistently, we know what he can do. So that merits him a bit more time than other players. I'm not saying it's right. Other managers would have probably maybe made this change earlier. But you can clearly see something's not right with him, but you're not short on talent when you look at Ollie Watkins, what he came and did, and you still got Ivan Toney on the bench. We've got other players who could even play in the centre of the pitch. We've got Gerard Bowen who could go down the centre if need be. But I felt that was a substitution that had to be made, and he was forced to it because in England with the press, you've got so many ex-players, pundits, journalists, everyone's giving an opinion, everyone's saying the same thing, that it was a difficult... he had to make it. There was nothing else he could do.
Were you surprised it was Watkins and not Ivan Toney?
See, that was the thing that surprised me, because Watkins came on as a sub in one of the first games early on, it escapes my mind. Then Ivan Toney came on, then Ivan Toney came on again, and then now Watkins. But it makes sense in how the game was flowing. You needed that energy, that runs to get in behind, because the Dutch were playing very open and expansive. I think for me, Kobbie Mainoo is the player who deserves a lot of credit and praise, because he was sensational. Young centre midfielder for Manchester United. If you watch him play, he played like a seasoned vet in that midfield. You talk about chemistry, the balance and the chemistry with how him and Declan Rice played in centre midfield was sensational. Declan Rice would be dropping as the deeper one to get the ball and organise that midfield, and Kobbie Mainoo would be the one that's going forward and would be taking the ball and driving forward.
How much credit are we giving Gareth Southgate for this win? Because it was that sub, and you know he has. I said it before. We've been quite tough on him, Nige. But when you look at that particular substitution as well, it almost felt like a moment of vindication for Gareth Southgate and all the criticism that he's been on the receiving end of.
I mean, Gareth's not new to it. He knows what it's like. Of course not. He's been in there, played for England himself, and got heavily criticised, you know, for missing the penalty. He knows what it's like to be in that environment. He knows the press. He knows the culture. He deserves credit. I mean, it's the performance that England fans have been waiting for, because they know that's what they're capable of. And that's what the frustrating part is when you know you've got that talent.
So do you rate him?
I do rate him. I think he's done it. How can you not rate him in what he's done?
After this tournament, you want him on still as the coach till the World Cup?
That's his personal decision.
Would you want him?
I would keep him. I would not mind keeping him, because he's familiar with the squad and what he's done for me.
If he wins, Nige, does he stay or does he go, you know what?
Okay.
I've had enough of this.
That's my point.
I brought a trophy home. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm out of here.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, even if he wins it and walks away, because people have no idea the pressure that comes with being an England manager. You talk about the Prime Minister. Next, it's the England manager. That's one of the most important figures in the country. That's how much football is loved. I would not be surprised, because the scrutiny of the press, the pressure that comes with being an England manager is too much. Like, you'd have to take it in a dose. For him to stay on again, he'll be very brave. I would not be surprised if he walks if they win the Euros, and I won't blame him.
It's going to be tough to win the Euros as well because Spain is playing extremely well at this point. If it goes the other way, if they lose a second consecutive Euros final, you know, what does that mean for Southgate? Is that
We say we got the 2 finals.
Yeah.
You know, we just didn't get it done.
And that's it?
But yesterday gives you a little bit of hope that this will be like a back and forth game where we knew what Spain was going to do. We weren't quite sure, but England, that was refreshing yesterday to watch from England.
It was, especially that first half. It was a very fun first half of football. Before we go to break, we have to show this clip. The Killers, fantastic band. They had a performance last night, and they literally stopped their concert to see if England won. Everyone's cheering. This is great. And then they go right into their most popular song, which is Mr. Brightside. And it's just amazing scenes. Incredible. Incredible. How cool is that? Amazing stuff.
That's
Amazing stuff.
top.